Now at 10 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a man killed in a one-vehicle crash is identified.
Plus, Texas Senator Lois Colcourt stops in Victoria to get voters to the polls.
And the community of Bloomington gets to voice their concerns to leaders.
Our temperatures will be running above normal for the next 7 days. The only problem is we got no rain coming in. We'll be talking more about that coming up in a moment.
And here from the UIL regarding the insane travel schedules for East and West, and it's week 9 of the football season. 7 teams ranked in the top 10. That's in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now after Monday Night Football. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Shauna Curry. A weekend shooting in Mission Valley is under investigation by the Victoria County Sheriff's Office. Deputies were called to the 9800 block of Lower Mission Valley Road on Saturday concerning a shooting. When they got there, several vehicles were leaving the location. A man identified as 20-year-old Nathaniel Escobedo of Victoria was taken from that location to a local hospital in a private vehicle and did not survive his injuries. If you have any information about this murder, you are asked to contact Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. You can also submit a tip through the P3 Tips app on your Android or Apple device, or you can go online to crimestoppersvictoria.com. All tips are anonymous, and if you give information that leads to an arrest or charges being filed, you could earn a cash reward. A man killed in a single vehicle crash in southern Victoria has been identified as 63-year-old Leroy Sullivan. This crash happened around 1 Friday afternoon in the 2700 block of Odom Street. Victoria police say Sullivan was driving a pickup truck southbound on Ben Wilson when the truck veered off the road for an unknown reason, hitting a tree and a house. Sullivan was pronounced dead at the scene, and there were no other people hurt.
The Victoria County Republican Party met at UHV tonight to stir up excitement for the election. Republican Party Chair Bill Posey led the proceedings, featuring several local Republican leaders and candidates. Texas State Senator for District 18, Lois Colcourt, was the keynote speaker at the event. She says that her duty is to inspire Republicans to vote in this election and that the results in Texas are crucial for the party.
This one is for all the marbles. This one is for all the marbles. And we have to make America strong again, and with that we will make America great again, and we will make the world more peaceful again.
The event concluded with a Q&A period, which allowed those in attendance to speak with the senator directly. Day one of early voting was today, and the Patty Dotson Public Health Center had hundreds of residents lining up through its halls. I know this because I was one of them.
Yeah. Almost 6.5% of registered Victoria County voters have already cast their vote, and we're just through day one.
Yeah.
25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting was there and joins us now with more information on today's voting turnout. Trenton.
Shauna, Don, thank you. And it was a busy first day for the Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center. Well over 2,000 people showed up to vote in person, and over 1,600 more voted by mail. Doors opened at 8 in the morning, and by 5 o'clock, nearly 1,600 voters had gone through the long lines in the driveway and inside the building. Election administrators said that wait times throughout the day were near an hour. Lead administrator Margetta Hill described just how much work goes into preparing a polling location for the vote.
We work very hard, and we work long hours during this time, so the next 2 weeks we get a little sleep. It's just a lot.
Yeah,
I tell everybody it's like planning a party for 58,000 people and you don't know who's going to show up.
Early voting continues throughout November 1st. The Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center will be one of the polling locations on Election Day, November 5th. Don, Shauna, back to you.
Trent, thank you. And here's a closer look at the number of votes cast on this first day of early voting in Victoria County. 2,090 people voted in person Monday. That's compared to 1,720 in-person votes on the first day of early voting in 2020. Put a little asterisk beside there. 2020, we had this little pandemic going on. 98 mail-in votes were received Monday. 1,631 mail-in votes received so far.
U.S. Senator Ted Cruz's bus tour is making a stop in Victoria. Senator Cruz will be at Lavaca Barbecue on Tuesday from 9:30 to 11 in the morning. Senator Cruz is using this bus tour to reach voters across the state ahead of Election Day. And the Republican incumbent is challenged by Democratic Congressman Colin Allred for his U.S. Senate seat. Allred voted early today in Dallas and then took questions about the race and his opponent.
Bloomington residents are addressing a number of concerns within their community. Meetings planned for this week should help answer some of their questions. Topics will include the plan to build an overpass on Highway 185 at the railroad track, along with questions regarding the move to incorporate and voter legality. Members of the Bloomington Stronger Together group say concerns about transparency of the community's water board need to be addressed as well.
And those meetings are not publicized as they are supposed to be. They're not circulated within the community, sometimes on the door or the window of the water department, but they're not regularly scheduled. They're not held at the local VFW hall, and community members are not welcome there.
TxDOT will share details on the overpass project tomorrow at 4:30 at the Bloomington Elementary School. Then a community forum will start at 6:45 to discuss the other issues in the community. Victoria County Commissioner Precinct 1 Danny Garcia, Precinct 1 Commissioner candidate Kenneth Wells, and Texas House Representative candidate Stephanie Bassam are expected and scheduled to attend the forum.
And this brings us to today's viewer poll. Do you support the proposed overpass project at the railroad track on State Highway 185 in Bloomington? And it stayed pretty consistent throughout the night. 87, 88% all night have said that they feel that that overpass project is needed. So thanks to everyone who voted.
A Port Lavaca man found guilty of murder was denied a new trial. The Port Lavaca Wave reports Blake Downs' motion for a new trial was denied by District Court Judge Stephen Williams. Downs was found guilty of murder and the death of Cohen Berm in August. Downs was sentenced to 30 years in state prison. The motion for a new trial cited new evidence that would have been favorable to Downs that had been found since the trial. A 27-year-old man is accused of violating probation on a sexual assault of a child charge. Calhoun County deputies arrested Emmanuel Lopez. He's in the Calhoun County Jail in lieu of $90,000 bond. Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. Oh my goodness, it's below 70 degrees right now, and it still feels humid. Why is that?
Well, we're fortunate to get even that cool because our daytime temperatures are going to be pushing 90 for the next few days. What may be one of the last few tropical storms of the season is Oscar. Oscar's right here off the coast of Cuba, but not going to be a problem for the mainland, and we can't rely on Oscar for any rain around here. We'll take a look to see if there's a cold front coming in the next few days, and we'll talk about that coming up a few minutes from now. Back to you.
Mac, thank you. Everyone loves spending time outdoors, especially when it's a little cooler right now. But it's important to be aware of tiny critters that put your health at risk.
Here's Cherie Preston with more.
Imagine a perfect day outdoors, hiking, picnicking, or just soaking up some sun in the backyard. But ticks that carry Lyme disease could be lurking in the grass and leaves, and if one bites you, it can cause a range of problems. Soon after being bitten by a tick, you might feel like you have the flu, fever, chills, aches, and fatigue. Some people get a rash that looks like a bullseye, but not everybody does. Only about 70 to 80% of people do, according to the CDC. If Lyme disease isn't caught early, it can lead to serious complications like long-term arthritis, heart problems, and neurological issues. So after spending time outdoors, do a head-to-toe tick check. If you find one on you, carefully remove it with the tweezers, clean the area, and monitor for symptoms. And if you start to feel unwell, don't ignore it. See your doctor. Remember, enjoying nature is great, but staying safe is important. With this Medical Minute, I'm Cherie Preston, ABC News.
Well, check your freezers. Some frozen waffle products are being recalled because they could be contaminated with listeria. The recalled products were produced by Treehouse Foods and sold under various brand names across the United States and Canada. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, there have been no confirmed reports of illness linked to the products. The issue was discovered through routine testing at a manufacturing facility. The FDA said you should throw out the recalled products or return them to the store for credit.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now, after Monday Night Football, Sean Combs is facing 7 more lawsuits, including one accusing Diddy of raping a 13-year-old girl.
Plus, consumers are spending big bucks this spooky season, but looking for better deals this year at the same time.
Join 25 News Now, the Victoria Advocate, and the Victoria Chamber of Commerce for a political forum with the candidates for State Representative District 30. Wednesday, October 23rd, 5:30 p.m., UHV Walker Auditorium. Hear from Democrat Stephanie Bassam and Republican A.J. Louderback as they vie for your vote.
Welcome back. They're labeled top secret, but they ended up online. The U.S. is investigating a recent leak of highly classified documents. House Speaker Mike Johnson has confirmed that they contain what appears to be U.S. intelligence on Israeli plans to strike Iran. And a source familiar with them says they're authentic. The FBI is likely tasked with finding out alongside the Pentagon and intelligence agencies. The documents appear to be intended only for certain officials in the U.S., Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the U.K. Analysts say they're ending up online instead could make Israel hesitant to share future intelligence. Well, there are new lawsuits and more allegations of rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment against jailed music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
7 more of these cases are coming from Houston attorney Tony Busby. Combs is awaiting trial next year on federal charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. Diddy denies any wrongdoing.
Disturbing details emerging in 7 new lawsuits filed against Sean Diddy Combs, adding to a growing web of legal troubles surrounding the music mogul, who now faces more than 25 civil suits. One plaintiff, identified only as Jane Doe, alleges she was drugged and raped by Combs at a party after the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000, when she claims she was just 13 years old. The accuser says that a limo driver who allegedly worked for Combs invited her to an after party, telling her Combs liked younger girls, and she fit what Diddy was looking for. She says she was asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement when she arrived at the party, and after having one drink, she felt woozy and lightheaded and needed to lie down in a bedroom. It wasn't long until, she claims, Combs, along with the male and female celebrity, entered the room. Plaintiff was held down by celebrity A, who vaginally raped her, while Combs and celebrity B, a female, watched. According to the lawsuit, Combs then vaginally raped plaintiff, while celebrity A and celebrity B watched. The mention of unnamed celebrities marks the first time since the indictment that claims against Combs have accused other stars of engaging in alleged assault. Combs's parties were known to attract world-famous celebrities. Another suit, filed by a John Doe, says at 17 years old he was invited to a party in 2022 in Manhattan with Combs. After one drink, he says he felt dizzy, weak, and confused, and witnessed multiple people engaging in group sex, including Combs and another artist he recognized. Doe alleges that Combs later sexually assaulted him on a bed, while others laid next to them engaging in sexual activities. Attorneys for Combs did not respond to specific allegations in the new lawsuits, but referred CNN to a previous blanket denial, stating Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted anyone, adult or minor, man or woman. Over the weekend, Combs's team requested that the judge overseeing his criminal case block prospective witnesses and their lawyers from speaking out about their allegations outside of court, arguing that the public accusations will interfere with Mr. Combs's right to a fair trial. Combs remains in custody in New York as he awaits trial in May.
Lawyers for Combs said they have what they call significant new grounds to argue for his release from federal jail while he awaits trial.
Combs' lawyers want the appeals court to put one appeal on hold so that he can bring the new information to the attention of the federal judge overseeing the case. Prosecutors have opposed pausing any appeal. President Joe Biden and the First Lady presented the 2022-2023 National Medals of Arts in conjunction with the National Humanities Medals during a ceremony at the White House tonight. The Medal of Arts is the highest award given by the U.S. government to artists, art patrons, and groups. It honors those individuals that have advanced the arts and inspired others. The list of honorees included artist and music producer Missy Elliott and filmmakers Steven Spielberg and Spike Lee. Meanwhile, the National Humanities Medal honors those whose work has broadened citizens' engagement with history, literature, languages, philosophy, and other humanities subjects. Honorees on tonight included author and historian John Meacham, actor LeVar Burton, and playwright, screenwriter Aaron Sorkin. Well, the countdown to Halloween is now entering single digits, but you have to add a lot more zeros to get to how much money people plan to spend on the holiday this year. The National Retail Federation estimates Halloween shoppers will spend a combined $11.6 billion before October 31st. That breaks down to around $104 per person, but it's down $4.62 from 2023's record high. Retailers say nearly 72% of Americans plan to celebrate Halloween, spending the most on candy. Decorations is a fast-growing category as well, and then, of course, there's the costumes.
I wouldn't spend that kind of money unless it's on my dog, you know. He deserves everything. Anyway, good evening, everybody. We're looking at 66 degrees, fairly comfortable, close to normal. But the 89 that we had today is not close to normal. That was 7 degrees above where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be cooling down. It is October, and we're headed toward Halloween real soon. But the biggest problem, other than the temperature, is the fact we've had no rain in about 30 days. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a moment. Well, good evening, everybody. As we were talking about rain or the lack thereof in July, June, July, nice 6 inches of rain. August, not so good. September was actually at about half of what we're supposed to get. October, nothing. It has not rained one day in October, and that, you know, is leading to this problem. We have had since January 3321. Which now puts us at about 3/4 of an inch of rain below normal. So we're going down. And I don't see anything in 7 to 10 days. So this number may be increasing in our deficit. So we need to get something going. By the end of the year, we should have about 40 inches of rain, and that would be a good year. Hopefully we'll get closer to that as we get on. Obviously today, lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, again getting up into the almost 90-degree range. We do have a frontal system in North Texas. It went through there earlier today. It's beginning to fall apart, but it did create some rain. But this time of the year, I stopped looking toward, no, I don't do that. I still will look at the tropics, but now we have to start looking at the Pacific Northwest, because here's where the big wet cold fronts cross over the mountains, get into the plains, and they roll into Texas. It runs into all that Gulf moisture that we normally have, and we get something in terms of rainfall. You can see right here how our winds are out of the southeast. That's why it's getting more and more humid. We may have even a little fog by tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we're looking for another warm day as everything's blowing up into this area of low pressure, which is the first kind of winter storm coming through. Not really the first, but it's the one we have right now. Now, temperatures tomorrow topping out at about 88 degrees, and we're going to stay there probably for about 5 to 7 days. So, yeah, it's not going to feel like October. Now, as I was saying, we can say goodbye. Theoretically, we can say goodbye to the tropical storm season. This is Oscar, maybe the last one that even gets close to the U.S. mainland. But Oscar had a very interesting track. It rolled across the Atlantic, rolled across the Caribbean, got to Cuba, and then watch this, right? See this line here? Just took a sharp turn to the northeast because it got caught up in the upper winds ahead of that frontal system. So it is definitely going northeast and not even getting any closer to the mainland. The Caribbean islands and the Bahamas may get some rain, but not Florida, that's for sure. And Florida doesn't have to worry about Omar at all. Now we're going to look for the next 72 hours to see if there's any rainfall falling over Texas. I want to step out of the picture here so you can see how there's a little tropical activity here and there, but not really looking good for us. So we'll be watching and waiting to see if anything turns around, especially now from the northwest. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, not bad, 84 degrees down along the coast, about 89, almost 90 out in Cuero, partly cloudy skies there. And for the next 7 days, we're looking for kind of the same weather pattern, not a lot of excitement, but certainly temperatures running above the average for this time of year. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads a Day on your phone. And now Zach Brown has all the football you ever wanted to hear about.
Thank you, Meg. Some of the best football in the state of Texas being played right here in the Crossroads. 7 teams in the top 10 in the World Series matchup. It sucks. I'll have that coming up in sports. Week 9 of the high school football season here. The Crossroads well represented on Dave Campbell's state rankings. How about 4 area teams that will all play each other this week? We have El Campo coming in at number 5, Bay City at number 10. They take on each other this week in what could decide the district. What is the second longest rivalry in Texas? The longest rivalry, none other than Cuero and Yoakum. Edna and Goliad also face off this Friday, and we have the usual 2A powerhouses in the mix as well. Refugio comes in at number 2. Ganado right behind them at number 3. Shiner in 2A Division II come in at number 10. UIL realignment has thrown a curveball for the Victoria teams in terms of travel this season. Sports reporter Ray Robertson caught up with a member of the UIL regarding the changes.
We try to keep our same ISDs grouped together as we can if they do fall in the same classification system. And we try to control for travel as best we can. It's not a perfect process by any means. We empathize with our schools. You know, schools like the 2 Victoria schools, the troubles that they have. That's not only travel for those kids and reduction in class time, that's also travel for the community as well.
It is important to note the alignment changes only last 2 years. We'll see what it looks like 2 years from now. If you're an Astros fan, this may be the worst case scenario for the World Series. First, the Yankees win the pennant in the ALCS, and over on the NL side, the Los Angeles Dodgers going back to the World Series. We are getting a New York versus LA showdown. The Yankees and Dodgers have been 2 of the biggest Astros rivals since 2017, and now the Astros have to sit back and watch one of them win it all. This is New York's first World Series appearance since '09, back when they won the World Series. Former MVP candidate in Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson's year just got a whole lot worse. Late in the first half, he goes down with a non-contact injury, which is always bad. Even worse when you get carted off. An emotional Deshaun Watson season has officially ended. He has a torn Achilles. Best case for him is that he's ready near the start of next season. The New York Liberty beat the Minnesota Lynx Sunday night to win their first ever WNBA final. The Game 5 nail-biter ultimately went into overtime with a final score of 67-62. The Liberty's Breanna Stewart scored 2 free throws with just seconds to go. The New York Liberty had appeared in the finals 5 previous times without a victory. As for the NBA, the Houston Rockets have extended both Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun. The NBA season officially begins tomorrow. Dawn and Shauna, back to you.
The NBA season starts tomorrow?
It starts tomorrow. The Rockets play in 2 days, and the Spurs take on the Mavs on the 24th, I believe. So it's here, Dawn and Shauna.
Let's tip it off. Okay, Zach, thanks. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, we'll meet the happiest crossing guard who's become a beacon of light in her community, spreading joy one dance move at a time. Hundreds of zombies took over the streets of Santiago, Chile on Sunday to take part in the annual Zombie Walk. Blood-drenched zombies, Beetlejuice characters, and even a furry dog took part in the parade. Ooh. Zombie walkers were accompanied by the Horror Truck, a vehicle playing music along their route. The Zombie Walk phenomenon actually began in Sacramento, California in 2001. Since then, the event has spread to major cities around the world, including New York, Buenos Aires, Bogota, Singapore, Sao Paulo, and Frankfurt, but not Victoria. Okay.
No.
It's coming.
Yeah, I don't know. That's some great makeup there, but well, it's time to celebrate one of our favorite heart-healthy foods. Tuesday is National Nut Day. From peanuts to pecans to pistachios, every nut variety has nutritious benefits. But not only are they rich with minerals and vitamins, they're high in protein, which helps you feel fuller longer. They're also packed with healthy unsaturated fats, which can help lower your cholesterol. One study showed that people who ate nuts lived 2 to 3 years longer than those who didn't.
Wow.
Interesting. It's a good reason to reach for some nuts instead of junk food when you're feeling snackish tomorrow. And if you're hungry for a meal instead, you can try throwing on some yogurt for breakfast, salad for lunch, in a savory dish for dinner. And, you know, now I'm sure I made everybody hungry.
Just go nuts, everybody. Tomorrow is your day.
It's your day to go nuts.
That's right.
You're right. Well, you'll be out there with the nuts and also looking for nuts. And we're looking for a lot of sunshine. Now, our temperatures are going to be running 5, almost 10 degrees above our seasonal average. So it's going to be a little on the warm side for October all the way through the next 7 days. I don't see any significant rain through the next 7 days, so that's not exactly good news, but that's what we got for this week. Don?
Thank you, Mac. And finally, a crossing guard in Pasadena, California, home of the Rose Bowl, is known for spreading joy in her daily interactions. Betty Miller has become a beacon of light in her community, one dance move at a time. Her community says her happiness is contagious. Every weekday morning and afternoon, parents and students look forward to crossing her path. Community members say the 74-year-old also gives rides to moms who need it when the bus is late. She doesn't look 74.
I was going to say, maybe she's been having a nut healthy diet or something to keep her looking so young, because she does not look 74 at all.
She's nutty about dancing on the boat.
Or it's the dance moves that keep her young. I don't know. But,
hey, all of the above. That's great.
Yeah, no, and it's a great way to get the day started. You know, everyone's in a good mood when, you know, dropping off your kids and going to work. And
Are they?
So.
You would know better than me. I hate waking up that early.
If someone's dancing and, you know, in a good mood, it helps.
Maybe,
you know.
maybe I'm a Scrooge. Cause I'm like, man, give my kids That's tough.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
25 News Now Sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night.